ways Braun Strowman could return to WWE. Braun Strowman was one of the major stars in WWE, having won multiple championships throughout his career. Unfortunately, he was released by the company in 2021. Strowman recently teased a return on Twitter. A fan asked him if he could return now that Triple H is the head of creative, and the former Universal Champion replied, stating never say never. If you're curious about what he could do if he were to come back to his former workplace, we've got you covered. Here are 5 ways Braun Strowman could return to WWE. Number 5. Confront Omos. Fans might remember that Strowman was released as part of the company's annual budget cuts. Fightful Select reported that he was earning more than $1 million per year, which is a huge amount for any professional wrestler. One might think that the company has attempted to replace the monster among men with another colossus, Omos. While the Nigerian giant has been gaining decent momentum, he hasn't reached the level of Braun Strowman's popularity. The former Raw Tag Team Champion could realistically return and confront Omos to prove that he is still better inside the squared circle. The storyline could easily be loved by fans, resulting in an ideal comeback story. Number 4. Enter the Royal Rumble match. Strowman was a main eventer in the business, wrestling for WWE's World Championships for a considerable period. If the company is planning to save his return for later, the Royal Rumble match will be the perfect opportunity. The countdown will create suspense and the audience will be delighted to see a former world champion return for title contention. He could go on to win the match or start a storyline with another superstar to have a match at WrestleMania 39. Would you like to see him return in the Royal Rumble match? Let us know in the comments section below. Number 3. Rekindle a monumental rivalry. Fans might remember that Braun Strowman's last match came at WrestleMania Backlash 2021, where he battled Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. It wasn't the first time he was involved in a feud with Lashley. The two had an incredible rivalry in 2019-20 that saw them lock horns in interesting contests like an arm wrestling match, a tug of war, and a Falls Count Anywhere match. Right now, Bobby Lashley is the United States Champion and looks unstoppable. He could have another epic rivalry with the monster among men if the latter returns to the company. Strowman could even go on to become the new United States Champion if he defeats the Almighty for the title. Number 2. Confront the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Braun Strowman was contesting for the World Championship when he was last seen in WWE. He could certainly pick up where he left off. Roman Reigns has defeated almost all the strong challengers on the roster, having been Universal Champion for over 700 days. While his reign started when he pinned Strowman at Payback 2020, he could feud with his former rival again as it has been over 2 years since they last faced off. The two have an incredible history together, and fans would certainly like to see another installment in their rivalry. Would you like to see Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal title? Number 1. Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt could reform the Wyatt family. WWE released 2 of its most prominent players, Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, in 2021. Neither has been seen in the company since then. The two were formerly part of the Wyatt family, a faction that lurked in the shadows of WWE for a long time. While the group disbanded and the two developed new on-screen character, they went on to feud with each other in 2020. Fans have seen previously released stars like Dakota Kai and Karrion Kross return to the company after Triple H assumed power. The Wyatt family could very well return and reform their faction to shake up the roster. They can be a part of dream rivalries once they return to the company, feuding with the likes of RK-Bro, the Bloodline, and the Judgment Day. While the Wyatt family was an impactful faction, there have been other stables that have gone on to change the course of the industry.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me,